What is going on, Celtics Nation? You are tuned into the Dynasty Proud podcast, coming to you live after the Boston Celtics manhandled the Sacramento Kings by the final score of 112-93. Um, this game was pretty much over in the first quarter at the hands of Peyton Pritchard and Baylor Shireman, and pretty much Celtics coasted the rest of the way through the game. I am the Parquet Poppy. This is my boy Adrian here. You can find him at NBA Swing Pass. Adrian, how are you feeling after that Celtics win?
Yeah, nice bounce back. We needed a win after the loss to Atlanta on Wednesday night. Like you said, wire to wire win. We did not trail at any point in this game. Good performance, career night for Baylor Shireman. Peyton Pritchard carried the team offensively. No Jalen Brown, no problem. You
Hmm.
know, so good dub.
Yeah,
Let's
I didn't even realize Jalen wasn't playing in this game until like halfway through the first quarter. It was just so dominant from the beginning that I just thought he was out there. It took me like almost 6 minutes to like figure out that he was not even in this game. I wasn't paying attention to like the starting lineups or anything today before this game. So just turned the game on at 4:30, and I'm like watching it. We built a comfortable lead and didn't even recognize that Jalen Brown was gone in this one.
yeah.
The worst team, I believe, by record in the NBA, in the Sacramento Kings. So, like you said, no Jalen, no problem for the team. Just absolutely aggressive start from Peyton Pritchard today. It's the same with Baylor Shireman, and that was those were your two players of the game right there that pretty much jumped out ahead on Sacramento, took advantage of their lack of defense, and I mean it was just easy coasting for the team after a you know pretty bad loss last game against Atlanta. I mean they came out of that Atlanta game to start just completely um, uh, unready. They weren't ready to play. I think they thought that Atlanta was going to be an easy match, just because they had dominated them earlier in the season. So nice to see the Celtics without Jalen respond and basically say, hey, even our best players out. For this game, we're still going to go ahead and take care of business and show Sacramento that even though we don't have our two best players on the floor tonight, this is just easy pickings for us. So really good to see, from everyone today, just an all out effort from everybody that stepped on that court today. So nice little bounce back game for the Celtics today.
Yeah, nice bounce back. Kata, 15 rebounds. He was on the boards working. Yeah, we had good contributions from everyone. D White wasn't scoring, but he was passing the ball. He was doing a little other things that he's doing. He's due for a breakout. He's gonna get one of these games where he's shooting over 50% and he's gonna make his normal shots, but we just have to wait for it, I guess.
Yeah, this one was. I mean, he didn't even take a lot of shots today. Only seven
Yeah.
shots throughout the whole game. Like you said, he was just doing, affecting the game in other ways. Him and Peyton Pritchard were absolutely dishing it out. So he found his little his niche in this game, for sure. Had a couple blocks and a steal as well. So yeah, he was doing his thing. Just like you said, lack of shots. That's it. I think he was really content with not pushing himself in this game.
Mhm.
Playing the Kings who are 12-37 on the season, 3-21 on the road. So um, he was definitely like letting everybody else like get their shine, letting everyone else be the aggressors today. D White has had to play more aggressively this season, and he definitely took the back seat on this one today, which was fine, right?
Yeah.
Against an opponent like this, you don't have Jalen out there. Let the other guys, try to get something in. Let Pritchard work. Let Baylor Shireman work and be the aggressors. And just let D White, sit back, play some defense, and look for the open man. So I think that was like a nice little. I think that was probably a little bit more strategy than anything, for the team. I think Joe kind of probably talked to Derek White before this game and said, "Hey, listen, I want you to just relax, play loose, don't force anything." And you had heard you had heard Scal on the broadcast say it looks like someone walked up to Baylor Shireman and said, "Hey, we need you to be more aggressive." And
Yeah,
I think Scal was right. I think today was the day where they wanted Pritchard and Shireman to really push that push the pressure on the Sacramento Kings. Derek White take a step back, look for the open man, play some defense, and just let the game come to him. And I think that was a nice little reset. It didn't seem like Derek White was forcing anything. Only 7 shots this game, so he didn't force any of his shots. He wasn't forcing
yeah,
any shots to, like, try and, run up the score. So, it was just like a nice little, like, all right, kinda like chill game for Derek White, and he only played 33 minutes, right? 7 minutes, 33 minutes, that's not bad, right? He wasn't pushing 35, 36, 37 minutes this game, so, he was out there, he was, doing a little cardio, but, it's not like he wasn't playing defense because we've seen the blocks, the steals, and, yeah, just a solid game from him today, but, nothing to be, like, definitely not as bad as his previous games have been. So where he was actually trying to score and try. So this one was just like, okay, I'm gonna take this as a Baylor Shireman, Peyton Pritchard, go at it kind of game.
yeah, yeah. I think you're absolutely right. There must have been a conversation. He wasn't forcing it, and yeah, and top it all off. You get some Chris Boucher at the end there, rubbing the Kings the wrong way with the last second 3-pointer there. First time he's played since what, Thanksgiving or something? They said since the broadcast. So wow.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I'm not gonna lie. I started coming up and upstairs with like 4 minutes left in the game. To just start getting the podcast ready. I was like, this game's over. But yeah, I missed the Chris Boucher minutes, and he looks like he took 3 shots and made one of them. So, um, the garbage time he was shooting, man. Looks like Minot came into the game too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Boucher comes in for 4 minutes and gets up 3 shots while Luka Garza was in there. Oh wait, no, never mind. I thought Luka Garza only took 1 shot. I was looking at his 3 pointers, but he took more 3 pointers than Luka Garza in this game. He just came in and started firing. He was just like,
Mhm.
I got to do something. He's like, I haven't played in a minute. Let me get some
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah. Yeah. He took Westbrook off at that last second there.
What is Westbrook doing, man? I mean, like him like jawing like off the bench, like you're over all the way at the end of the bench in street clothes, and you're over here saying ball don't lie and stuff like that for
Yeah.
the game's over. The game was over. It was out of hand. Like, what are you doing, man? Like
Yeah. And
it's
yeah.
it's not a good look for Westbrook, man. Just sit
Yeah.
down. Like if you're gonna be on the Kings past this trade deadline, just
Mhm.
right out into the sunset, bro. You're doing too much. You could just see some of the players that were suited up watching him, just like, all right, bro, like come on,
Yeah.
like,
A little
like
side-eyed. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, dude, like even the players are just like they're not even getting up off the bench and like jawing with him. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, not a good look with those white gloves. I don't know. It's not like Boucher was trying to make it. I just think he was just throwing it up just to throw it up. I don't think he wanted it to go in. I don't think it was intentional, but the ball went in, and he wasn't trying to rub it in on the Kings or anything like that. It was just like you
I,
said.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to go back and watch that, but like the dude doesn't play right. Like he's just trying to get his shots off. Like
yeah,
I mean, he's a player. He wants to put the ball in the hoop. That's what he's paid to do. And when he gets that opportunity, he's gonna try it.
yeah,
It is what it is, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, man. Some other good performances in this game from some of the other players today. Like you said, Nemish came down with 15 rebounds today, just absolutely like going crazy on the glass. Luka Garza was also really good on the glass tonight as well. Um, but yeah, Simons came into this game, had 16 of his own. Luka Garza dropped 11, and the pretty much what you expect out of Walsh, 5 points. Hugo Gonzalez, 2 points. Those guys are just in there for their defense, really. But yeah, man, Baylor Shireman, it was playing his ass off today. Really liked what we've been seeing from him in this January. I feel like has been his best month,
Mhm.
career wise for him. Like January of 2026, yeah, has been
Yeah,
probably Baylor Shireman's most successful month of basketball in his career since coming into the NBA right now. And 16 points, 6 to 10 from the field, 4 or 7 from three, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal. Just really good, solid minutes from him today, and was just playing really great on defense as well. Really, like, trying to fight through those screens, and just harassing the on ball the ball handler in this game. So good stuff from him. Sam Hauser also had a pretty decent game as well. Dropped 10 of his own, 3 and 9 from the field, 2 of 8 from three, a couple free throws. Not a lot of fouls in this game. Celtics had 16 free throw attempts, and the Sacramento Kings had 23 free throw attempts today, even though they were like the ones complaining today for calls pretty much all 4 quarters of the game. So not sure what they were trying to get the refs riled up for or whatever, but they were rewarded free throws. I don't know why they were complaining every time I saw them like go up for a shot, but it is what it is. It's got to be frustrating for that team. Only 12 wins on the season. A lot of trade talks going around those players right now for that team. So can't really feel good, playing hard and not feeling like you're not being rewarded. So I think that's just I think their frustrations are just a byproduct of their season, not necessarily this game tonight. But
Mhm.
Celtics still have to do what they have to do. And got that dub. That's all that matters. Uh,
They have a good squad, though. You look at the talent; it's just not a fit. I mean, Sabonis has been out for a little bit, but they have a good team. But they have a lot of the same type of players, I guess. Monk and DeRozan and Levine, maybe the same
mhm.
type of player. But there is talent there, and like you said, they're probably going to move on from a couple of guys if and try to reset everything. And I mean, they're
Yeah,
they're they're a talented group. It's just they don't fit well together.
they don't. Shout out to Mouthpiece. What's going on, man? Said what's goody squad. Good W tonight. Yes, man. It was a really good W tonight. Appreciate you for coming out, dropping a comment over there on X. If you are tuned into us live right now, drop a comment in the live stream, whether you're on YouTube or on X.com. Yeah, get in touch with us. Talk to us. Let us know what you felt about the game. I know a lot of people are feeling some type of way about some other um, Celtics media organizations talking about talking about players in some type of way. We try to keep it pretty neutral here. We're just fans. We're not behind the scenes. We're not in the locker rooms. We're not reporters. We don't get any of that type of access. But we're just here to talk some basketball. If you don't want to hear it from the guys that work over there, I'm not going to say. I'm going to say like the CLNS network. If you're feeling a little bit of ways about how they've been talking about the players or whatever, come tune into us, man. We'll talk with you. We're fans over here. We're not media members and stuff like that. So yeah, you want to talk to us and let's talk some ball. We'll keep it honest and stuff like that. But we're not over here to talk down on any of the players or nothing like that. We've been pretty neutral all season. I mean, we do talk about trades and this and that. If a player isn't playing good or whatever, we'll let it be known. But we're never into the like disparaging people's characters or anything like that type of stuff. So yeah, if you're if you want to tune in for a little bit of a different type of speed of coverage, hit us up, talk to us. Let's see what's how Celtics Nation is feeling about the team and everything like that. But yeah, man. Whew, just trying to get away from the game here a little bit. Let's talk about that Jason Tatum news, man, because we had been the last pod I had
Mhm.
said, nothing's really been coming out as far as news or anything. So it's kind of been a little bit stale this season right now before the All-Star break. But the Tatum podcast drew a lot of criticism, a lot of mixed reactions um, about what he's how he's feeling and everything. And then the follow up to the podcast where he I believe he talked to Ramona Shelburne, or I believe it was, kind of like
Yeah.
put out what like a little clarification and stuff like that. Man, I mean, we kind of expected this, right? I mean, a lot of people were taken by surprise or, blaming the media, them saying that Tatum wouldn't be a fit or that it would be not that it wouldn't be a fit, but that it would be not just not the word's not detrimental either, but uh have to reintegrate himself, right? That it was going to be a little bit of a challenge. And Tatum acknowledged that. And a lot of Celtics fans were, up in arms like, "Oh, see, now his confidence, like you guys talking about him in the media saying like his fit wouldn't mesh." Or, like the thing is like what Tatum said and everything are his like honest feelings, right? Like
Mhm.
like that is the like whatever he's feeling, those are his true feelings and everything. And we have to just take him for his word at this point. Like I know he's been doing like all the videos and stuff about, him ramping up and everything like that. But, the mental aspect of this is is just as important as the physical. And I feel like a lot of people were caught up just in the physical, not really taking into account the mental part of it. And I had mentioned it earlier in the season too that the mental hurdle would be a problem. And I feel like it's gonna be like that for anybody that has a severe injury like how Tatum had. And um, I don't know, to blame the media and everything. I thought was kind of like from a lot of people was kind of unnecessary. Like I don't know. I just thought the whole situation with the pod releasing and then him having to clarify all the stuff was really weird. In the fan base, attacking the media in general. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, my man?
Yeah, so he went on to pivot, right? And he was voicing, just his feelings towards whether or not I guess he would come back and how he would integrate himself into the team. And my thoughts on that whole thing is he's the best player on the team. He doesn't need to integrate himself. The team needs to integrate themselves to him.
Right.
He doesn't need to find a way to fit in. The team needs to work. You know what I'm saying? If you're the best player, there's no integration. You're the guy. Joe develops the game plan. Joe builds everything back around you. I get it, the mental part of it, and he's watching his teammates being successful. Number two seed in the East, which is great.
Hmm.
Then you got Jalen Brown, who's having an MVP type of year. It's going to be tough for these guys to reset if and when he does come back. Now it's sort of up in the air, but that's my only thought is he doesn't need to worry about fitting in. The team needs to there'll be a finals contender with him. He just makes him that much better.
Hmm.
And these guys, most of these guys have played with them. So the integration part of it, mm, I'm not sure. But like you said, it's a mental component to this. He's never had a serious injury his whole career, and he's probably feeling a certain way, and which is fine. It's human. It's human nature, and I would like to see him come back and and just you know see how the whole thing works, the components work, and we'll see what happens. I guess at this point, but um,
Yeah, I think like his comments about saying like what like how is the team going to look me coming back 50 to 60 games into the season. uh you know th- and he's right though. That's the thing. Like it is gonna be it is gonna be different. Like they will have to change things up, but at the same time, um, like Joe Missoula will be prepared for that. Like to think that they haven't even thought about this or talked about this already, like behind the scenes, I think it has been discussed already. I mean, Joe is very confident in how like he would have to put Tatum in, and everyone's missing the fact that when Tatum comes back, he is going to be on a limited. minutes restriction, right? Like it's he's not coming back in to these games and just starting off playing 38 minutes a game. Like that's just not happening. And I really like the idea that John Corrales had talked about on his podcast, where put him on. When you're doing the minutes restrictions, have him come off the bench. Like, yeah, like that. Like Tatum wants to be a starter, obviously, right? Like that is his role. That's what he does. But this is whole new territory for him, and I like the idea that John Corrales had said is basically have him on the bench, and he takes Jalen and he takes over for Jalen when Jalen needs his minutes, right? Like, and now you insert Tatum for Jalen Brown, coming off the bench, and then now Jason Tatum can work with the role players, can um, help those guys to develop playing with him, right? You start developing with those guys, and you get used to the system playing with those guys. So when you do start playing with the starters as well, or you get put back into that starting role, you're familiar with the system now. Like you've played 20 something games, going into the playoffs, figuring out the system and stuff, learning how to trust your body again, and everything like that. So I thought that was a really good idea, from John Corrales. I think it makes the most sense for the team, for the type of injury that Tatum had. I think I think they were also saying that you start him not in a home game, right? Like you don't want to put him on a like you don't want to put him in that home game on Super Bowl day playing the Knicks at home, and then something, God forbid, catastrophic happens again on in the national, spotlight, right? Start him off slow, start him on a road game, not anything that's going to be on, ESPN or, national, one of these national televised games. Put them on League Pass. Get them in a League Pass game, in an away game, and get them ramped up. Start off slow, and then see how he responds, and then you make it to your first home game, right? I
Yeah.
think I think Tatum had a lot of high expectations on, how his recovery was going to go, how it was going to all play out, come back playing against the New York Knicks, the team that tore your Achilles with in the playoffs. And, you make this grandiose comeback. Um, and I think Tatum has really never been like that as far as his personality goes. He's never really been the one for the storylines, the theatrics, of his image. So I think, doing it the other way, I think would be beneficial for him.
Mhm.
Um, because I feel like now, like when he had to clarify his comments and stuff to like Ramona Shelburne and stuff, I think that the um the pressure of everything, as the day gets closer to that date of, when he thinks is going to be the perfect time to come back, I think it's starting the reality is starting to set in that, oh man, this is coming up faster than I thought.
Mhm.
Am I prepared to handle this? Is the team prepared to handle this? The come my comeback and how I fit into the system after they've been having great, really really well.
Mhm.
I want to say standout performances this year from some guys, but I would say, um, a very well developed season for a lot of guys this season. Um, but I feel like he also can't have that mentality of, I don't want to stunt what's going on with this team, because he needs to have that mentality of, I'm not going to stunt it because I am Jason Tatum. But then it's the
Mhm.
back of his mind now. It's like, but I'm not the same Jason Tatum that I once was, right? So he has to see how he's going to respond, how all that is going to work out. Um, and yeah, and I think whether he decides he wants to come back or not, that's it. That's his decision. Um, I'm going to respect it either way. Um,
Yeah.
if he feels like this season he doesn't want to mess it up or anything, And even though he's been talking about like, I uh I didn't work this hard um in my rehab to not come back this year, right? Like
Mhm.
minds can your mind can change, like you can have all this confidence and stuff like that, and then maybe he went through like a workout, a drill or something, and recently and said, you know what, maybe my confidence is still needs to be raised up a little bit before I
Mhm.
decide I need to get into a game. So you know would be nice for him to come back. I don't think the fans would be upset at it. I mean, the fans would be upset if he comes back and then there's a catastrophic re-injury or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's still ultimately his decision on what he wants to do. So gonna respect
Yeah.
it either way.
Yeah, I think there's always been a plan. I'm sure there's been a date that the whole team has looked at and say potentially this could be the date. I'm sure, but us being on the outside, not be able to see the full picture inside the walls, we don't know any of that information. But I'm sure there's discussions, and I'm sure guys have been pulled aside and said, if this is what's going to happen, this is how it's going to look. I'm sure there's been sorts of discussions. There has to be, and it's just we're not privy to that right now. But like you said, it's totally up to him. I don't either way. I don't think the team's gonna react. Like if he doesn't want to come back, I'm sure it won't be negative, and if he does, I'm sure they'll support him. So it's just a matter of him being comfortable with everything and being healthy. I'm sure he's healthy enough to play at this point. It's just him finding the right time and being comfortable. Maybe there's a couple little mental hurdles that he has to jump over, but yeah, either way, yeah, I'd love to see him play if he comes back. If not, the team's been doing well, and he's been a big supporter of this. He's been at all the games. He's been on the road with the team, so I'm sure he'll continue to do that.
Yeah, I think I think he still wants to come back. I
Yeah.
just think I just think that maybe his target date, just he I think I think he was very what's the word? He was very ambitious
Hmm.
about the date for his return. And I think it's still an ambitious uh day to come back, game
Hmm.
to come back, right? Looking at that New York Knicks one. It's just it's a lot of pressure. Jason
Hmm.
Tatum is still a young guy. Um,
Yeah.
he has a lot of career left, a lot of career. And I think that comes into it as well. I think his camp, his people around him, they're probably saying, Jason, like, we love you. We know you want to come back at this day. It's the vibes would be immaculate coming back versus the Knicks at home. Um, but do you do you go out there, and if it's not what you expected, are you happy with that? Are you going to be happy with yourself that you were still able to overcome the injury, get back onto the NBA court in the amount of time that you did, but
Hmm.
didn't have the performance like you wanted, right? Say he comes out and, it's not a good game. He puts up like 10 points or something like that, right? I mean, for me personally, I would think that's a success. But for
Hmm.
him, does he think there's success in coming off the bench, playing 20 minutes and you score 10, right?
Yeah.
Like he like these ball players, they have egos. They have Tatum just has a very humble ego. It's just way
Hmm.
different from a lot of other superstars that we see. But he still has that ego of like, I want to be the best on the court. Does he feel like he's going to be does he feel like the success of coming back in the time frame that he did is more of a success, or how he plays coming off of the injury as the success, right? So
Yeah.
I think you kind of like battle that as well as a as a ball player, with your ego and stuff. So, um, yeah, man, it's a lot of it's very complicated. It's a lot more complicated than, you know, um, him just like, "Oh, he's done. His injury is healed. He is back. He's ready to go." There's way more to it than that. It's a lot that goes into these decisions. And, a lot of other things too. You got brand deals and stuff like that, like,
Hmm.
Tatum's very fortunate to have, a lot of partners and sponsors and stuff like that. So, um, you don't like in the back of your mind and stuff like that too. Like for him, that's also got to be like thought about as well. I think, um, do these sponsors or and my partners, do they drop me or whatever? I don't think he's really like thinking that too much like into that, but that's just me. Like, I'm just talking now. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think I think there's just so much more that goes into it than any of us as a fan can know.
yeah,
But these he wants to play. Like, it's just really his decision on when that's going to be, if he thinks that's right for him, and whenever he makes that decision, we're all going to be there to support him anyway. So
yeah. I don't think. Yeah, like you said, I don't think the team's gonna block him. If he wants to come back, I'm sure they'll sign off on it. Like you said, limited. Great point. Have him come off the bench. Maybe that'll solve some of the, you know, th- just the comfort feelings of him not being able to, disrupt the whole team. Just have him come off the bench.
hmm
That's a great solution to it. Yeah, but internally, I'm sure every scenario's been played out, and there's conversations with everyone. I'm sure it's just not Jason; it's the whole team. So,
yeah.
um, yeah, it's just a matter of him being comfortable enough to go out there and play. Health wise, I think he's okay. It's just the mental part.
Yeah, honestly, it's just it is probably mostly mental at this point. Um, and honestly, that's the last battle. That's the last hurdle.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. It's you can rehab and everything, go through your workouts and stuff, but once that ball goes up in the air, it's a whole different ball game out there on the court.
Hmm.
He's got to trust his body when he makes a cut, when he goes up for a 50-50 ball. These are things that are going to be in the back of his mind. But it would um it would be beneficial for him to get some run if he does decide to come back before the playoffs. But if he doesn't, honestly, it's feeling like he might sit out the season now. It is like, after doing the interview and everything, the podcast that he did, it is feeling a little bit more now that he's like kind of like more on the reserve side. And I think there's a lot of there's been a lot of players, too, around or like in the league that have said he probably shouldn't play this year. And I think he takes his peers opinions into account as well. I mean, you don't want to rush it if you're Tatum with so much career left. I mean, look at what happened with Kevin Durant, right? He took the time to heal up, and he's still playing to this day, right? A lot of people, we were thinking like, well, there goes his career, right? Because of what we had seen like with Kobe in the past. But the advances in the surgery are definitely light years ahead of what they used to be. Kevin Durant is still having a super successful career post injury, and I think Tatum at this point in his career too, he wants to play a lot of basketball in his career. Like, he has a lot of games left for him for the rest of his career, and do you just as a player, just punt on the season, don't come back, and then you give yourself that extra time to finally get mentally prepared, because um coming back in the season, you're trying to go against the Knicks if that's the game that he was aiming for, and it's a lot of pressure, right? Like, especially for a guy like Tatum. He's got a lot of career left, a lot riding on his career. He wants to win another championship, and
Mm,
you know, take
yeah.
take the year off if you don't think that if you think that you're going to negatively affect the team by coming back, if that's really what he's thinking, and then you guys don't make it to the finals, right? Like, or win the championship this year, right? Like he's gonna be. I think he'll think that that's kind of like a reflection on him, right? On even though he's coming back from this, so I don't know. Maybe the route is to take the year off, come back,
Mm.
start new again next year, and see where it goes from there. Um, but man, it's just so much in the air right now. It's just so many like mixed messages that it's hard to. No one's gonna know what he's gonna do until he decides to do it. So it's
True.
just a lot of
True.
just predictions.
Yeah, I just realized too, he hasn't had any ramp up. I mean, he hasn't had a training camp. He hasn't had a preseason, so he hasn't played against live basketball talent players. So that's also something, it's gonna, let's say he comes back just before the playoffs and he's gonna need that time to ramp up. And that's another thing to think about too. He just hasn't played in such a long time. So it's a tough one. Tough. It could go either way. But I won't be upset either way. I mean, it's totally up to him.
Yeah. Yeah, just finally we got some like drama around the team like these past couple days. I
Yeah,
mean, it's been very stale getting up to this um all-star break. The
yeah,
past couple weeks, the games they've just felt the same win or loss,
yeah.
uh which you know I'm sure the players are ready for a break as well. So
Hmm.
um yeah. But yeah, like what we got, like 8 more games or something like that till All-Star break or something. So it's coming up
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
It's soon. These guys can get a chance to relax and rest. Everyone except Jalen, but
yeah.
um, yeah, it's gonna be. It's. We need to see what's going on. I think they said somebody had said on Twitter that Anthony Simon has been put into trade talks. Celtics have put him out there on the market, so uh,
Yeah.
some movements happening. Something might happen.
Hmm.
Whatever move they make, I think that's gonna probably let us know where the Celtics,
What direction?
what direction they're going. Yeah,
Yeah, true.
I think they need a big, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Now we got the whole Giannis is saying he's out of there. From what Shams is saying, that they're starting that the team is he didn't request a trade, but like the team is starting to look or something. I think that's what I
Yeah.
read. They're starting to field offers or whatever. But
Hmm.
man, this new CBA makes it hard for any team, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
there's gonna be like 3, 4 team packages to pull off trades in the NBA and stuff. Um,
Yeah. A
the
lot of rumors. Yeah.
and the whole trade market, man, it's just been absolute ever since they put in this new CBA. I mean, trade deadline is just a dud. I
Mhm.
mean, it is just so they made it so hard for teams to be able to make trades and stuff, and it's crazy because now, like, all these, I'm not, I don't know, I just can't get over it, right? Like the fact that they killed everything about the trade deadline.
Mhm.
There's nothing that comes from it now. What was it? The CBA has been in what, 2 years, 1 year, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 or
This,
3. It's
I
been
think
a
this,
little bit. Yeah.
I think this is the second season. I mean, we would have already been hearing rumors. Trades would have happened. Like there would have been some people already on the move this year, but it's just like
Yeah.
CBA just locks so many teams into their rosters, and then they just have to like just so many mental gymnastics to work with other teams and figure it out. It's not just, oh, I'll trade you this guy for this guy like anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's totally killed the trade deadline market and everything.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's probably a few teams that can take on a big salary, like you said, it's just and then if you can't take on that salary, you gotta find that 3rd team to sort of work things out. It makes things difficult. Miami's been rumored to be interested in Giannis. That's just, Twitter talk, but
Yeah.
and there's probably just a couple teams that could actually pull it off, but if a lot of picks, a lot of good players, and you got to make the money work. And it's not easy. It's easier said than done.
Yeah, and I feel like the whole thing that happened with Danny Ainge also, how he helped facilitate the Luca trade to LA. And then
Mhm.
afterwards he was like, if I would have known this and that, I wouldn't have, you know, done this trade. Like he wouldn't have helped Luca get to LA. So I don't know how something like that could have happened
Yeah.
to Danny Ainge, who's been like the master manipulator in trades in the past. So for him to agree to a trade and didn't know like what the final outcome was going to end up being, Luka Doncic being in a trade. I mean, how many more times, how like what other teams can that happen to, right, where they get into a trade and they haven't been told about the other part of the trade on what it's helped facilitating, right? Like are there rules in that? Like, do you have to discuss with every team, like GM or anything like that, about, what the trade is going to be like once it's
Mm.
finalized and everything? I mean, for Danny Ainge to say that he didn't know, I find it kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't, because he is a previous Celtic. Like, why would he want to help facilitate a trade that makes the Lakers better, right? So I mean, could this happen with other teams, other owners or GMs, and they're doing trades, and maybe that gives them hesitation to
Mm.
want to work with multi-team trades because they don't know what's going on as far as like the other part of the trade is going. I don't know. I just thought it was so crazy that Danny Ainge had said that, and now we're in a situation where these multi-team trades have to happen in order for a lot of these trades to work out. And who's getting left, in the dark on some of these trades? Could it, like, who in the part of the trade would be left in the dark that they're not they're unaware of uh, a player being moved that you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Yeah.
crazy to me that that could have happened. Maybe it does give other GMs and owners hesitation on making trades before these trade deadlines in the future, because if that could happen to Danny Ainge, it can happen to a lot of other owners or GMs. And
Yeah.
um, is that a problem with this new CBA? Or are they, when you're working to make multi-team trade deals, is there, are you allowed to leave a party in the dark? And maybe that gives hesitation to a lot of these organizations on making deals with teams in multi-team trades with
Mm.
this new CBA.
Yeah, that's interesting because I could see both sides of it. I mean, if it's a three-team trade, let's say the Lakers are, trying to get Luca from Dallas, and they're having conversations with Utah, that 3rd team. So the Lakers conversation's probably primarily with Utah about that package, not involving anything to do with Dallas. So I could
Right.
see where, Danny's probably left in the dark because he doesn't have the whole scope of it. I could see that.
Right. And it gives hesitation to teams that want to make a move, but then they're like, shit, I don't know who else is getting moved in this deal if I accept, right? So it's just like the NBA trade deadline used to be fun, right? You used to love seeing these teams, like, especially that were trying to build dynasties, uh,
Mhm.
build out their rosters through trades and moving picks and stuff. And now we just get like none of that anymore.
Yeah.
You're like locked into like what you to what you get,
Mhm.
and then say you do hit on all your draft picks, right? And you built with it, and you built your team from the ground up. The
Mm.
CBA still prevents you from even like signing those guys to max contracts, or like like it doesn't prevent you from signing them, but it basically like it basically still handicaps you. You
Yeah.
know, like it's just such a handicap now. I really don't like it because the Celtics could have had their roster before the CBA and let it go for like another 2 years before
Mhm.
they decided like, all right, it's not working anymore. Like they were forced to make the move this year. Like they had no other choice because of the limitations of the CBA. I mean,
Yeah.
teams that were like teams that were gonna probably try to build a dynasty before that new CBA just absolutely got like handcuffed. Like they just literally like said, nope, can't do that anymore. We want more parity, and then it's just like they can't even now. Teams can't even you know trade without having like you have to trade with more than 2 or 3 teams now because of the CBA rules. So it like it creates parity,
Mhm.
but at the same time, now when you find out that a GM didn't know the full scope of a trade, now they're like, oh crap, like
Mm.
this can happen to us too, and it's just like yeah, it's just really really hampered things as far as the NBA. I think it's probably the worst CBA agreement for the
Yeah.
NBA in years.
Yeah, just trying to put a cap on things. I guess they just don't want the dynasties and all that stuff. The LA Dodgers type of franchise in basketball where free spending. But
That's
yeah,
that's that's
yep.
gonna be interesting too for the new Lakers owner. The guy who's used to just, spending all, infinite money for the Dodgers, and now he owns a team where there is a CBA, where there is a salary cap, and it's gonna be interesting to see how he learns how to navigate through that. And uh he'll probably just ride it to the next CBA.
Mhm.
Just ride it through next CBA, and then when it comes time to bargain, the
Mhm.
new Lakers owner is going to be 100% on board with restructuring all of this, the salary cap, the what do they call it, the aprons. He's going to be 100% on board. Get rid of aprons,
Mhm.
because he's gonna want to run the Lakers organization like the Dodgers. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be next time it comes up for a CBA, bro. It is gonna like I would not be surprised if there's like a lockout, but um, we'll see. We'll see if like the players union and everything. I don't know. I mean, this is like maybe this is why it was put. These restrictions and everything because they don't want an owner like the Dodgers coming in and just spending infinite money on a team. And then yeah, there goes the parity for the NBA. So um,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. But right now, I just feel like the NBA could be such a better product
Mhm.
without this salary cap and all the aprons.
Yeah, I'm all for the salary cap. I mean, the salary cap's fine. If you want to set it at a certain number, I just think where they mess up is with that second apron stuff. I mean, there should just be one number. There should be like a secondary number where you start getting all these hard penalties. Just set it at one number. Everyone goes off that one number and we're done. And if
Hmm.
teams go over, they go over, you penalize them, whatever monetary punishment you want. But just set that one number. There doesn't need to be a second threshold that if you go over, you lose draft picks. You can't sign this guy, that guy, and the other.
Yeah, it's
Just
crazy.
make it simple. And that's how it's always been. And I don't understand the changing because teams are going to spend if they want to spend, and if they want to take the penalties, they'll take the penalties. It's a free market out there. If a
Hmm.
guy has the money and he wants to build a super team, he should be able to. I get the parity part, but you know, if an owner has the money and he's willing to accept the penalties for it, just it is what it is. I mean, uh,
Right. And the NBA has been like their reputation has been built off of dynasties,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
that's what the NBA is known for. The NBA is known for a team or a city, um, basically winning back to back, three-peating. That's what draws in
mhm,
the viewers. And like for them to like not want that be a part of their product is just absolutely like mind-boggling to me. um because it's like they want to see like they want to see a New Orleans and a Charlotte Hornets in the NBA finals, right?
mhm,
Like they
yeah,
want those like I get it, right? Like I get that those cities could definitely use the exposure of, having more having a league that does have more parity in it, but those teams aren't the draws, right? Like they're not draws unless they can build their organization to be a championship contender,
yeah,
year in and year out. Um,
yeah,
and it's just like that's on the organization to get that done. Like that's
mhm,
like why is it like affecting all the other teams in other markets? I just don't get that.
yeah, yeah,
It's not our fault that like a team that spends it, whichever team that's in a bigger market spends money to go out and get players or whatever. But it's just like for the smaller market teams, like they have to learn how to build a team. They have to rely on scouting, like invest in those departments for your team, right? Instead of just basically saying like, oh, all the big markets get all the good players. Invest in your scouting. Look for the best in the biz that can help you get the players that you need to succeed for your team. And if the owner doesn't want to do that and invest in that part of a basketball team, investing in your G League affiliate also as well, like
mhm,
what are they doing? Like to improve their product. It's not our fault. It's not the other team's job to invest in another team. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, yeah. No,
like
I.
like these other teams, like they've been around a while. Like why hasn't it happened yet? You
Mm,
know, like I mean, yeah, sometimes you got to get lucky too, right? I feel like the best thing that the NBA could have done, um, is just not have a lottery, not have it a
mm,
draft lottery, right? Like if you actually like let the teams that do stink, like I mean, like there probably would be teams that do want to like tank or
yeah,
and stuff like that, right? I mean,
mhm,
it is what it is. I mean, we see, but like if that's how they're gonna have to try to be successful and get better players, then let them do that, right?
mhm,
It's not like every first round draft pick choice is gonna pan out anyways. So why is it a lottery for the teams that are usually at the bottom anyways? And like look at what happened with like San Antonio and Dallas. Like they get the lottery picks all the time, and they don't even like tank like crazy. You know what I'm saying? They just like like they still play. I don't know, man. I just think like a lot of stuff could be solved if they got rid of the whole draft lottery and let the players that aren't like let the teams that aren't that good just get a higher draft pick like they do in the NFL and go from there. It like the NFL has never had a problem with that. Like it creates parity. Now look, we drafted Drake May, third round pick 2 years ago, and look,
mhm,
it got us into the Super Bowl. Like that can happen for the NBA too. Just let it happen. Like what are these all
yeah,
these restrictions on all these other teams that have the money and the means to go out and buy players, right? If that's what they want to do, and the other teams they want to lose and get a higher draft pick in the lottery,
yeah,
let them. Like there's your parity.
mhm,
There's your parity right there. Now the teams that aren't as good, they get a high draft pick,
mhm,
and hopefully it turns into something positive for their team. that can draw in viewers, that can draw in fans, that can. But when you have the draft lottery and a team that was the worst one ends up getting the fourth pick in the draft,
Mm,
what does that do for that organization?
yeah.
Like, what does that do for that organization's fan base that they just watched their whole team lose? They sucked an entire season, and then now they get shafted with the fourth pick in the draft.
Hmm.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
All
No.
because of a lottery ball that no one gets seen pulled.
Yeah. Yeah. True. That's another problem with the
That's
lottery.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You look at teams like San Antonio, OKC. They were, they were training young guys. They would pick up contracts, just do other teams favors, and they would try to build. Now they're two of the better teams in the league, so you can't build it through the draft that way. If you're a smaller market team, you can't be competitive. It may take you a little longer, but if you're a big market team, you should be able to spend, to the cap and over if you're willing to accept the penalties for it. Just get rid of the second apron stuff. That's kind of ridiculous to me. If a team's aggressive enough, they want to spend and add talent. Why are they getting penalized for it? Why are they losing draft picks? Why are they losing ability to sign players? It makes no sense. It's kind of comical in that sense.
It is, yeah, like it really is. Because yeah, it
Makes
just
no sense.
doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's my rant on that.
No, it's all good. It's good talk.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, man, Celtics today, they really just handled this team, the Sacramento Kings. It was, just another game where it's just like Celtics look good. They look good against the bad teams. They're still struggling against, the top teams in the NBA, but they're still in a good place right now.
Yeah.
I don't really have any much more to say. I mean, I was going to add the box score, but we talked about it a little bit. There's nothing really that pops out on the page. Everyone had a decent game. Payton Pritchard, the player of the game, obviously. If you
Yeah.
watch that game, um, yeah, man. Other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. I think who's the next opponent we got? Let me see who we play next. Who we play
I
next?
think Milwaukee Sunday, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
No Giannis.
Yeah. He's out.
No Giannis. I mean, you think he's hurt?
No, I think they're just shelving him. I think
I
he
think
probably does move, but it'll be interesting to see how they work it out. Like, but it could be a chance he moves.
I don't know if he's getting moved this season.
Uh,
I feel like he's either sitting the rest of the season, and then like they're just gonna sit him the rest of the season. Maybe he is really injured, and then look for the trade in the off
yeah,
season. But if he's actually injured, I don't think he's getting moved this year. But I think he is gonna get moved now for sure.
yeah, yeah,
It's kind of crazy how that all went down. To be honest,
yeah. They're a team
but
that made a lot of bad decisions. Trading at Drew Holiday. I don't know if Miles Turner was a good fit there, and Giannis hasn't been happy with the talent that's been around him. There's a lot of like second level talent there. There's not too many stars beside himself, so it's
yeah,
it's tough.
yeah, it all started with Coach Bud, dude. All started with Coach Bud getting fired.
Mhm.
That was just crazy. Didn't like Coach Bud's like brother like pass away during the playoffs, and
Something
then
like
they
that. Yeah,
fired him after the season. I mean,
yeah,
people
yeah,
talk about the Isaiah Thomas situation, and like always like Milwaukee just gets glossed over that they fired their coach after he like lost his brother in the playoffs. I'm
yeah.
like, that's kind of crazy to me. Then they get rid of Drew for Drew Holiday for aging Dame Lillard,
Hmm.
doesn't play defense Dame, and then he gets injured, and then they release him.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like bro, what is going on? Then they fire their coach who had a winning record. What were they, like 31 and 14 or something like that on the
Yeah,
season?
yeah.
Fire
Okay.
their coach. Then the teammates are dancing the next game. Uh
Yeah.
and then the nail in the coffin, Doc Rivers getting
Mm,
hired.
yeah.
Like Doc Rivers was literally calling games on the broadcast like 4
Mhm.
days before that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then next thing you know, he's the head coach. After he flamed out in Philadelphia.
Mm.
Flamed out
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Philadelphia. And then they thought, hey, Giannis isn't happy.
Mm.
Let's just cater to him. Fire the coach that has the winning record right now because they had a couple beefs on the sideline.
Yep.
Let's hire Doc Rivers and then ship out Dame Lillard after his injury.
Mm.
What a
Yeah.
what a crazy fall off for that organization, man. Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It sort of makes sense why he wants out. I guess you add all those things together.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's horrible, but yeah, you're right. Maybe at off season they move him. Maybe they can get more value at that point. But I think he does. I agree. He does get moved at some point. They just move on, try to get some pieces and build it out. That
Yeah.
team. That team needs a lot right now.
Yeah. Be crazy if he became a Celtic one day, but I don't think that's happening. But
Yeah.
a man can dream.
Yeah. Be nice fit.
Yeah. So we got Sunday, February 1st versus Milwaukee, 12:30 p.m. my time. So 3:30 East Coast on ESPN. Nationally televised game. Okay, so Jalen's definitely coming back for that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a couple more days. But all right, man. Other than I don't think I'm gonna be I don't think I'm doing post game for that. I think I'm working, but I'll have to get an update for y'all on that. Other than that, my man, I don't got nothing else to say. If you tuned in tonight, we appreciate you. 29 people in the stream tonight right now. Appreciate y'all for coming out and watching, listening to us babble, talking some of that Celtics game, Tatum injury, and the salary cap and Milwaukee downfall there for a little bit. I'm the Parquet Poppy. You can follow me on X, my boy here, Adrian, at NBA Swing Pass, Dynasty Proud 18 on X, and then Boston Sports Entertainment Network at BSEN _617. Other than that, we are hoping for another dub against Milwaukee. Should be able to get that handled and take care of business. Based off of the way they played today, absolutely looked like a complete bounce back as far as the energy goes from this team. So maybe they found a nice little spark after that loss. I'm sure that had to aggravate them losing on their home court last time. So other than that, we are out of here for the night. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Other than that, guys, you guys have a safe one tonight. And as always, peace out and go Celtics. Talk to you guys later.
Peace out.
Ends tonight here. It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. The Celtics are NBA champions.